eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
JCI awards Dream Come True scholarship to a Castlebruce student. Police in Trinidad issues caution ahead of Vibes Cartel concert in Trinidad today. And the US to double tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to 50%. Good morning. Welcome to the DBS Major Morning News. It is Saturday, the 31st day of May 2025. We have the details of these and other stories coming up.
Reach out! Reach out! DBS will be there!
DBS News.
Welcome back. I am your presenter this morning. My name is Joseph Fadul. First up this morning, a student of the Castlebruce Secondary School is the recipient of the 2025 JCI Dominica Dream Come True Scholarship Award. Edrickson Harris, a fourth form student, received the award during a ceremony at Windsor Park on Friday.
It is with immense pride and heartfelt gratitude that I am here before you today as President of JCI Dominica to announce the recipient of the 2025-2026 Dream Come True Scholarship Award, an initiative that embodies the very essence of our commitment to youth empowerment, education, and national development. At JCI Dominica, we believe that the true wealth of our nation lies in the minds and hearts of our young people. It is for this reason that in 2018 we launched the Dream Come True Scholarship Program, a beacon of hope and opportunity for students with great potential but limited means. This scholarship is more than just financial support. It is, in fact, an investment in the future leaders, innovators, and change makers of Dominica. This year we once again were inspired by the remarkable stories, resilience, and academic excellence demonstrated by our applicants. From the Kalinago community, young individuals step forward with dreams as vast as the Caribbean sky, dreams of becoming doctors, engineers, educators, entrepreneurs, and so much more. After a careful and comprehensive selection process, we are proud to award the 2025-2026 Dream Come True Scholarship to Mr. Edrickson Harris, whose passion, perseverance, and academic performance have truly distinguished him. To our scholarship recipient, you are the embodiment of potential. Today, you step into a new chapter of your journey, and we are honored to walk beside you.
President of JCI Dominica, File Lander. FRS L'Express des Îles and Whitchurch and Company are sponsors of the Dream Come True Scholarship.
On behalf of FRS Express des Îles and Whitchurch, we are proud to have been a sponsor of the Dream Come True initiative by JCI. And today, we are here to celebrate the outcome of that raffle, the award of the well-deserving sponsor to a talented and promising student. This initiative speaks volume about the power of community service and the impact of the smallest act of support. We are honored to be part of this project that helps a child gain access to the tools and opportunity that they need to thrive in school. Congratulations to our well-deserving student, Edrickson Harris. We hope that this scholarship helps you to pursue your dreams and it gives you the confidence to reach even higher heights. We are rooting for you every step of the way. Thank you to JCI for organizing such an inspiring initiative and to everyone who contributed to making this successful. Let's continue to support each other and let's continue to make dreams come true.
That was Desmond Patrick of FLS L'Express des Îles and HHV Whitchurch and Company. Here now is principal of the Castlebruce Secondary School, Haradin, Scotland.
I must say, indeed, it's a pleasure to be here, and more so to celebrate with one of our students, Edrickson Harris, who has been awarded the JCI scholarship. When I was informed of the selection, I was elated because I knew that Edrickson is a well-rounded student. I was privileged to have taught his sister and his brother, who was our valedictorian. I already told him that he has no choice but to be promoted to fifth form because he has gotten a scholarship. I am hoping that he will live up to expectation when he writes the CXC exams and shine, be one of the top in Dominica. I think you have the potential. So I want to thank JCI for selecting Castlebrook Secondary, and I'm hoping it's going to continue. The initiative is going to continue. I'm happy again to celebrate with Edrickson, and I want to say thanks again and continue the hard work as we seek to touch lives of young people.
Principal of the Castlebrook Secondary School, Harrod in Scotland. Health Minister Kasani Laville has welcomed a new cohort of Cuban medical collaborators to Dominica. The Health Minister wrote on his Facebook page that on Thursday, May 29, as part of Constituency Day, he sometimes makes a visit to the Dominica China Friendship Hospital to visit with people from his constituency. Mr. Laville said while there, he had the pleasure of meeting the new batch of dedicated Cuban medical collaborators who are starting their orientation. According to Minister Laville, the commitment of the Cuban medical team to serve in Dominica, despite the sacrifices of leaving their families behind, truly exemplifies the spirit of compassion. He thanked the Cuban medical team for embodying the essence of dedication and service. In more news this morning, the Dominica Public Service Union will hold a meeting with its members next week to discuss the ongoing salary negotiations with government. General Secretary of the union, Thomas Later, says government has proposed an 8% salary increase for public officers over a 3-year period.
Since we started negotiating with the government of Dominica, that's the first time since we did made some resubmission. That's the first time we'll be meeting with the members, and that is on the 3rd of this month coming, June. And the last time we met with government's proposal is 8% in terms of the salary increase, 3, 2, and 3. That is for 24-27. So I mean the triennium 24-27. Government is not willing to give a salary increase for the first triennium 21-24. We came up with some proposals which they have not accepted. We have, however, been able to make a lot of progress on some of the non-salary matters. Some of them are long-term benefits, and we are happy about that.
General Secretary of the Public Service Union, Thomas Later. A recent survey conducted by the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DAIC, has revealed that many businesses in Dominica continue to grapple with rising operational costs, cash flow challenges, and limited access to finance. The survey, which was conducted between April and May 2025, gathered input from 42 businesses representing a wide range of sectors, including tourism, wholesale and retail distribution, manufacturing, amongst others. Executive Director of the DAIC, Ashma McDougall, emphasized some key findings of the reports.
Many of the respondents reported ongoing challenges related to the rising cost of inputs, as well as recruitment difficulties, and importantly, energy costs. We recognized that most businesses remain resilient, but many are under pressure from the rising input costs and as well limited access to financing. A key finding from the survey was relative to gender representation in management. And from our survey, 65% of the top managers in Dominica, or the top management roles, are held by women, which is a strong indicator of female leadership across industries. And so, while this is commendable, it's also a key for concern with regards to participation rates in formal employment among men. Businesses also reported a polarized sales performance, and we had over 40% of businesses seeing a decline in sales compared to the first quarter of 2024. And while cash flow pressures are mounting, with nearly 1/3 experiencing worsening financial conditions, on the flip side, 1/3 also cited that they experienced greater cash flows.
Ms. McDougall says there is a need for greater partnership to address some of the challenges facing businesses in Dominica.
So the Chamber calls for stronger collaboration between the public and private sectors to tackle these systemic issues. And what we want to recognize for future surveys is broader participation. We want to take an approach to have greater participation by sector, and so we want to ensure we can actually target agricultural officers and as well do more groundwork to meet with businesses on the ground, regardless of them being a member or not, to ensure that we can have greater representation and participation in this survey. We also encourage individuals to participate in the upcoming quarterly survey. We are at the end of Q2, and so the Chamber will look to receive feedback from the wide membership and as well from the wider population in regards to potential questions that could be reflected in the upcoming survey. We recognize that these insights form a critical basis for targeted policy dialogue, and with the formation of the Public-Private Sector Collaborative Committee, we recognize that this is where strategic interventions aimed at enhancing private sector competitiveness and resilience can come from.
Executive Director of the DAIC, Ashma McDougall. Outgoing President of the National Cooperative Credit Union, McDowell Paul, says the future of the institution is encouraging. His statement came as the institution reported a surplus of $4.1 million for the financial year. He said the institution welcomed 800 new members for the financial year.
Looking ahead, the future of NCCU is bright. Our 2024-2027 strategic plan outlines ambitious yet achievable goals across the 5 foundational pillars. 1, excellent member services. 2, loan growth. 3, delinquency management. 4, diversification of income stream. And 5, staff development and welfare. As we move into 2025, we are already progressing with key initiatives such as the construction of the La Salette branch, the launch of the NCCU virtual branch, and the NCCU digital transformation project. While we celebrate, let us also acknowledge the wins we have weathered. The global financial landscape remains volatile, marked by cyber threats, inflationary pressures, and shifting members' expectations. Maintaining a strong balance between growth and managing delinquency requires our continuous attention and strategic focus.
Meantime, the NCCU has renamed its Merit Scholarship after former President Josephine Dublin.
As a cooperative, our commitment extends far beyond financial performance, guided by the cooperative principle number 7, concern for community. We continue to invest in initiatives that make a positive impact across Dominica. Our scholarship program remains a cornerstone of our educational outreach, supporting 89 students in 2024, bringing the total number of beneficiaries since its inception to 207. In recognition of our outstanding contribution to the society, we are pleased to rename the NCCU Merit Scholarship to the Josephine Dublin Scholarship. Congratulations, Mrs. Dublin. Our dedication to corporate social responsibility was further demonstrated by doubling the value of our sponsorship and donations to community-based groups, organizations, and institutions in 2024, reaching over $200,000.
Outgoing President of the NCCU, McDowell Paul. In an effort to strengthen Dominica's emergency response and disaster preparedness, Israel Aid Dominica has successfully trained 12 individuals as certified instructors in first aid and CPR use. The newly certified instructors were trained by the St. John's Association of St. Lucia. They are now qualified to deliver certified training to others across the island, creating a ripple effect of life-saving knowledge and skills with communities, schools, and response teams. To support hands-on learning, Israel Aid also handed over 2 professional mannequin collection kits to the Office of Disaster Management and the Dominica Fire and Ambulance Service. Each kit includes adult, child, and infant mannequins, as well as AED training devices, providing realistic, practical training opportunities for responders and community leaders alike. A firm which surveyed housing conditions in Dominica post-Hurricane Maria is reporting that there has been a 14% reduction in the number of vulnerable homes. Pierre Paya of Build Change says, however, Dominica has some work to do to improve the housing stock.
The first good news is the 14% reduction in number of highly vulnerable houses since Hurricane Maria. So this is a good achievement. We can really celebrate it because in only 8 years, I think it's a good achievement. However, we are still a lot that needs to be done, and we found out that 63% of houses are still highly vulnerable, and especially for galvanized roof, this rate reach 78% of galvanized roof. But what I want to say is it's kind of easy to retrofit those kind of houses. The third result is regarding the timber houses. We found out there are 89% highly vulnerable, so it's also like a lot of way to retrofit those houses to decrease the vulnerability of those structures. And finally, I will finalize the result of the survey with a good news, like all the slab roof we found were not highly vulnerable, so it's a good improvement.
That was Pierre Paya of Build Change. Let's move to news from the region, where the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is calling on attendees of the One Caribbean Unity Music Festival today to obey the law and follow established guidelines to ensure that everyone enjoys a safe and incident-free event. In a press release, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, TTPS, also assured that concert attendees will be able to have a strong police presence in and around the premises, which will work to maintain order and protect all the attendees. The TTPS advised, however, that firearms will not be allowed at the concert venue, whether or not a person is a holder of a license. They also indicated that the use of cannabis or marijuana is also prohibited. In addition, the TTPS said that glass bottles will not be allowed on the premises for safety reasons. Internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that the U.S. will double its current tariff rate on steel and aluminum imports from 25% to 50% starting on Wednesday. Speaking at a rally in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Trump said the move would help boost the local steel industry and national supply while reducing the reliance on China. Trump also said that $14 billion would be invested in the areas of steel production through a partnership between U.S. Steel and Japan's Nippon Steel, though he later told reporters he had yet to see or approve a final deal. The announcement is the latest turn in Trump's roller coaster approach to tariffs since re-entering office in January. We've come to the end of the DBS Major Morning News. The best in sports comes up next. Stay tuned.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD, easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mo Banking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mo Banking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mo Banking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mo Banking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees
way.
on Mo Banking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mo Banking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mo Banking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Welcome to the DBS Major Morning Sports Football. Takes the first kick this morning. Derron James got a hat-trick as Sagicor Southeast ran all over DSFC as the DFA Premier League last night continued with the only game at the Technical Centre. The game was pretty much over within the first 6 minutes of play as Southeast jumped out 2-0 to lead. Southeast managed to put 6 more goals past DSFC as they walked away with a comfortable 8-1 win. Sydney Lockhart got 2 goals, Jocelyn Prince and Luan Leslie also scored a goal each for Southeast. Southeast coach Kimon Coffey was pleased with the way the team executed the game last night.
I'm very impressed. Basically, we did what we came here to do. We won the game. That was the most important thing. There were times I think we could have played better, but that's how it is. That's how the game went for us, and we won. And that's good.
All right, dominated the game from the get-go. 2 quick goals within 6 minutes. What sort of influence do you think that had on the play for the rest of the game, allowing your guys to settle down?
Yeah, well, it had a big influence because basically the last game that we played, last 2 matches, they scored early on us, and it set us back. We didn't stick to our game plan, and so today our game plan was score early, and then we'll let the game progress and see what happens.
You had a hat trick from Derron James. How prolific was he up front for you tonight?
Well, he's always one of our players that we know can give us a lot of goals, and today he demonstrated that. Yeah.
All right, and while Derron might get all of the praise up front for the goals, in the midfield you had Trey Douglas, who also had a very good game, was one of the candidates for man of the match.
Well, Trey is our ruthless player. He is the one that set the tone for us, and once he set that tone, we continue to win.
All right, what can you take from this win now as you move up the points table, level on points with We United?
Well, basically is go next game, we take it next match, and we'll just continue playing hard like this.
Southeast coach Kimon Coffey. The win moves Southeast to 12 points, leveled with Valvoline We United, while the loss leaves DSFC in 9th place on just 3 points. Meantime, the Dominica Football Association, DFA, is hosting a sports medicine course starting today. The course is being held in an effort to build capacity within the clubs and to equip club personnel with the necessary skills and competencies to deal with football matches and training sessions. The course is taking place at the DFA Football House from 10 a.m. Sticking with some football news, this time from the women's side, the Dominica Football Association DFA Women's Football Technical Officer Devon Coffey is describing his experience at the CONCACAF Women's Professional Development Seminar as a great learning experience. Coffey attended the 2-day conference which was held in Mexico. He says a lot of positive developments for women's football were discussed.
Also, I recently traveled to Monterrey, Mexico for the CONCACAF Women's Professional Development Seminar. It was a 2-day workshop where it was focused around the CONCACAF W Championship, which was a new regional women's club competition launched for the first time last year, and the New Jersey Gotham FC were crowned the champions beating Tigres of Mexico. Now in that workshop we touched on many topics such as leadership in sports, women's roles in sports. Also we talked about the club licensing or new club licensing standards that the CONCACAF is willing to launch across the region for all women's clubs. And we also talked about league development. We had a few experts from the Lloyd Foot Business Group give a brief presentation about trends in sports and developing in professional sports, particularly women leagues across the region.
DFA Women's Football Technical Officer Devon Coffey. Let's bowl over to some cricket now. Coordinator of the Dream 11 Nature Isle T10 tournament, Liam Sebastian, feels that the product is having an impact on not just cricket, but is meeting its objectives of helping to market and promote Dominica. The tournament is heading into its 7th edition in July. Sebastian says the tournament has grown. 18 overseas players are expected to participate in this edition.
Well, I think it speaks for itself in terms of the group, as you said, and just the brand, Nature T10, what the product that is put out on the field. I think it is of a very high standard and a very high level. And I'm sure that, some of the players who have been coming would have spoken to some of their friends and their counterparts in terms of, the standard, the vibe, the energy, and just the whole tournament with all the different stakeholders and everything. From our point of view, we're just hoping to continue to elevate the brand of the Nature T10. As you said, it's a cricket tournament, but we use it to push our sports tourism and our country as a destination as well. So what we're hoping that we can do is that if we can increase viewership, increase attendance and participation, and just for persons, viewing the tournament, persons talking about it. And then I guess by extension that can assist with, some of the ratings in terms of tourism and persons speaking about it. We're hoping to do that and to grow in that line. I think at this point, we're not worried about the product on the field, because I think all the stakeholders there are very keen to put out a good product. So what we're trying to do is just to see how we can maximize all, not only revenue, but just viewership and all of that to push the brand of the tournament.
Coordinator of the Dream 11 Nature Isle T10 tournament, Liam Sebastian. Let's bowl over still to some cricket, this time from the international women's side. Well, England have taken a 1-0 lead in their one-day international ODI series against the West Indies after securing a comfortable win on Friday as that series got underway. England batted first and made 345 for 6 in their 50 overs. Amy Jones got 122 and Tammy Beaumont 107. As England put on 222 for the first wicket. Hayley Matthews picked up 2 for 49 and Afi Fletcher 2 for 65. The Windies, needing 346 with their fragile batting lineup, actually got off to a decent start and were 91 for 0, but could not maintain the innings and were bowled out for 237. Well, Kiana Joseph made 62 and Hayley Matthews got 48. Lindsay Smith took 5 for 36. The West Indies lost by 108 runs. The second one-day international ODI is on Wednesday. Staying with some cricket news, West Indies head coach Darren Sammy says the team has to put the setbacks from the first one-day international ODI behind them and focus on the second match against England. His comments came following the West Indies' disastrous performance as they went down to England by 238 runs in the first ODI, while the Windies were bowled out for 162, chasing 401 for victory.
We were really outplayed today by a team that is also searching for their new identity. But that display, that was just not good enough. We've played a better brand of cricket over the last 15 to 18 months, and we just find ourselves finding it hard to start away from home, which is something we have to rectify. It's good when batsmen play out of their skin, but when you know you have a plan and you've not really given it a chance to work, that's the most annoying thing, And today, our bowlers were not disciplined enough. We saw how England came out and stuck to a simple plan. It's a plan that. It's a wicket that requires you to be straight and use the square boundaries from a straight line. They showed us how it's done. So again, it's our skills were not on par in any of the power plays. Not to start. We were chasing the game from early. 90 runs in the first 10. You always find yourself on the defensive, and we were playing catch up from then.
West Indies head coach Darren Sammy. Let's move over to some athletics news. A team of 18 athletes will represent the Pioneers Athletics Club and Dominica by extension at a meet in St. Lucia this weekend. The team left state Friday. Team coach Cedric Harris says the club will participate in a number of age group events. He says he's anticipating a good showing from the club at the 4th annual Makiba Alcid track and field events.
The team will be led by Cedric Harris, coach, and chaperone, Miss Mahala Riley, and safeguarding officer, Miss Cleopatra Latham. Also accompanying us will 18 athletes, and these athletes will be participating in different categories: under 7, under 13, under 16, and open male and female. Some of the names that was likely to pop up in the results will be Akisha Luke, Miralda Thomas, Shakan Stedman, Jeremiah Rennie, Jonathan Richards, to name a few.
And that was president of the Pioneers Athletics Club, Cedric Harris. And we end with some volleyball news this morning. Defending men's Division 1 volleyball champions Club 1 will start their quest for a second straight title as semi-final action in the KFC National Volleyball League continues today. The defending champs will meet the Young Vets tonight in Game 1 of their semi-final series at the Massac Indoor Facility. That game gets underway at 8 p.m. Meantime, in the women's division, it's a rematch of last season's women's finals as defending champions the Aces will battle the Celtics at 6 p.m. Before that, at 4 p.m., an old rivalry will be reignited as Club 1 comes up against Brickers in the men's Division 2 semi-finals. Well, we've come to the end of the DBS Major Morning News and Sports. A few reminders as we continue programming throughout the day. Connecting the dots this morning. 2-part series starting from 9 o'clock. Part 1 giving back to your alma mater. Mona St. Louis, Wayne Liburd, Sharon Vidal Francis join as Part 1 with Ivona John Baptist Lugie and Nigel Francis giving back to your alma mater. And Part 2, Diaspora Arts and Craft Expo with Marceline Edwards and Amy Simon. These are the guests this morning. Of course, Nigel and Mrs. Luge come through from 9 o'clock. Compliments of the wonderful folks at Bullseye Pharmacy. We continue with great programming throughout the day. And of course, this weekend, right here, right after that, it's Digi Fun Time. The news again comes back at 1:15, 1:30, the Lotto 1:35. Approximate time, the announcements. Youth Vibes comes through from 2. His Excellency Ambassador Leroy Prince Wadix Charles comes through with Kada Spectacular. And of course, great programming right after him from 8 o'clock on DBS Radio. Thank you very much for joining us for the morning's news and sports. On behalf of the entire news and sports department, I was your presenter this morning, Joseph Fadul.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with